But today, we'll be trying to make a hammer. Some mild steel hammer. And I'm going to do that for my touch mark and things that some of my other tools that I'm making. So, I don't know how much it weighs. I didn't weigh it to start with, but I can. Hold on. Okay, I've got it on set to pound in ounces there. And this is it. This is a, get it right here. It's a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch by 3¼ inches long. See what it weighs. It weighs 2.015 pounds. So you might as well say a 2 pound ounce and a half. Okay. Let's turn this off. Set back up on the board, where you can see, you can hear the ribbon burner there going. I've got it cranked up a little bit there to warm it up. It's a cold, rainy day here, and we've had freeze warnings and everything else around here. So anyway, let me put this in there. It'll take a few minutes for it to heat up, but I wanted to show beforehand what I intended to do with it. So, let me get it in here. Okay, wish me luck. I didn't get it out there with my fire, but these tongs. Wasted. That's what we're doing here. Well, that gives you a little shock down the handle. Wasted a little bit of heat on that one. started straight, square. Try to anyway. Alright, stick it back in there for heat 5. Maybe this time it'll go through. One of my nephew's friends is in a hurry to get to Hades. Not like that. Okay. I can see through it. But, granted, hopefully you can too. Granted, this is going to be my number 5 hammer. And about all the number of hammers, the 5 that I've made, I have never gotten a plug out of nothing. Never. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the first couple of hammers that I made, I drilled a hole through. Drilled a hole and followed the hole down through there. Still didn't get anything but rags on the inside. And that's what I'm getting here is rags. Of course now, I turned my punch into give it a little thinner profile to start with there. And to make it go in better, and it's not deformed a bit, and maybe that's one reason why, but I don't know. But everybody else seems to get a plug out of their hammer. I don't. I never have. Like I said, maybe after I built a couple of million of them, maybe I'll start getting a plug out of them every once in a while. But right now I'm just building what I need and learning as I go about them. And I made a couple of really nice dog's heads to start with. A couple of really nice ones. And then my straight peen kind of got me off of kilter just a little bit. I may rework it, take the handle out of it and everything. So anyway, it won't take that long to build back up. It's burning all of the gas. There's no waste, there's no flame coming out, no rolling, no dragon's breath coming out to anything other than what the fan will push out. But it's taking all of the gas, and it's got a dull orange glow in there. I wouldn't be surprised if a hammer head wasn't already ready to come out. So let's try it and see what heat number 6 will do. Right back on the anvil right there. And see. Yep. Yep. It's not as hot, but it will work to get on down right here a little bit more. See if I can't push on through. Yeah, that was just a little heat right there. I mean, it's all the way through. I'll give it one more with this from the same way, and start driving the drift in. Open it up good here. Yeah, that's good. Yep. 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 Watch me run this heat. Alright, let's see if I can get the drift started here. Heat 7 or 6. That's good on that side, but it will. Let's try this side. I might have to work the other one a little bit more. Looks like I'm going to need to work this a little bit more. Okay. Not yet. Come on. Nope. Well, bending the punch out may have been a mistake, but I'll keep at it. I'll bring it back when I get drift completely drove in it. Okay, I'm back. It took 14 heats, and I've got the hole punched and drifted. I've got it stamped, my DBK, and number 5. This makes it number 5. This one right here is just a mild steel hammer, so I can use my touch mark. See, let's see if I can get this on there. No, touch mark. Come on, focus. Come on, focus. Got every light in here open. Anyway, there's the touch mark end of it, and there's the other end of it, and it was coned and had a thing on there, so that's bladdered down. I'm using just regular hammer on it. I didn't have that, and my wooden mallet would not suffice, so I decided I'd just make me one. Like I said, it took 14 heats. I didn't do nothing with it, just pull it down. Now I've got to just cool it off and then grind it. So let me drop this in the bucket over here. Okay, welcome back. Now, I said I was going to wire wheel it, so what I done was I wire wheeled it. It didn't look right, so I I went over, I was going to grind it anyway, so I thought, well, okay, I'll take a couple of minutes. And that's about what I did. Probably 5 minutes over, 5 or 6 minutes. Got a good ceramic belt on my 1x42 and got a 1 horsepower 230 with a 4-to-1 ratio belt on it, so it scoots it. You stop the belt and the motor keeps going. I have to tighten the belt. It's got a brand new belt on it, but it does good. So here it is. There's my 5th hammer. Okay, it's pretty good. It's not the straightest in the world, but it ain't the crookedest either. And it's probably the best I've punched in a while. So, shaped like an hourglass on the inside. You can feel it when you run your finger in there. And I never file out the eyes, even on hammers that I've rehandled. Now I'm going to show you how I hang a hammer. You've probably all seen it 100 times done. You've probably all done it 100 times. But I think I've only showed it once that I've done how I do it. Now, when let's put a little context to this. When I was working sheet metal, heating and air conditioning, we had a roofing company there also. We paid all the bills. The heating and air conditioning paid all the bills. The roofing's what made the money. And I think it was $1.55 a square foot for put on a rubber roof. Now, rubber roof is like an inner tube. Now, when you cut it to go around things, when you come to the end of the cut, you rounded it. You cut a round hole out. And that stopped it. And that give the cut or pull nowhere to go. Didn't give it an edge to catch and split. Okay, same thing with wood. Same thing with wood. Here's an engineer's handle for a 3 or 4 pound hammer, so it says 16 inches long. And it comes with a hardwood wedge. Now this is poplar. That's the other hardwood. I don't like it. It's too soft. It is classified as a hardwood. I usually use walnut myself. I make these. I've got chunks of walnut around here. And some of them will either come with 1 or 2 steel wedges. Stay away from the round ones. Don't want them. Anyway, this can come with 2. Some do, some don't. It's just whoever packages them up feels generous. So now, when you take this one and you get it set how you want it, you look and you see and you push it down there. It's coming down there. Puts the gap together. Well, that's tight. So maybe I didn't get that. Yeah, I did. I wrote it down the same thing. These hammers are just a little bit off, but I mean the handles. Some of them's a little bit big, some of them's a little small. So I just take a little bit, take my little everyday carry knife. These are hickory handles, by the way, and I got them off of Zorro. It's kind of like Amazon, but kind of leaning toward tools and stuff like that. So that's where I got them. Now I just want to get this on down right here a little bit. And that will be fine, I know it will. Now, I know how to do it. Now, I'll be right back with my drill. Take this right there. Take a drill and a bit. Put it right there. And drill a hole all the way through right there. Then you're going to take this. Let me put it over here in a vise. Let me saw it. I'll come right back. That's it. And went just a little bit far, but that's the general gist of it. You want to, when you get there, you want to just stop at the hole. Or I got one side went a little bit deep right there, the other side stopped. Okay, it works better if you get it right into it. I didn't. It's not the first time that I've ever done that or not done that, so I've missed it several times. Now I'm going to weigh this thing before I get going here so I can weigh it without the handle. Still on pounds and ounces, and go. Okay, is that it? Ground and everything is kind of descaled. It weighs now 1 pound and 810 ounces. So didn't lose that much. Yeah, what? 1 pound, it's 8 ounces, 1 pound, 8 ounces. So, pound and a half. Lost about a half a pound, a little more, which is fine. Which is probably all my fault about fire and everything, getting it down. But let's see what it's measured out to be right now. It is still, it's 3 1/4 inches long with what we started with. It's after it's been ground. And it's an inch and a half by 1 5/8. Yep, 1 1/2 by 1 5/8. So it's gained a little bit on the width, but stayed the same on the height, and lost a little bit on, stayed the same on the length. Ground all the bad off of it. So now, let me turn you off. So take our hammer handle there, and it didn't get the glue. Yep. I use the Titebond, waterproof. Go down the crack on the outside. Now on the outside, you say, well, this is it's a bonding agent. The wood is porous. The metal has slag and holes in it everywhere, so it will, when you put it in there, it will go in there and sit up. See? Right down. Right where I started and stopped doing the trimming of the head. Now, you can see that there's room around that. On the top right there, I guess you can, yeah, right there. That is for the for excess glue and stuff to go in there. Now, I said once you fill this gap up with this glue,
and this glue sets, Gorilla Glue would really be good because it expands. Now, this is squeezed it together, the whole thing. Now, to get that, you need to cut a little bit off of the walnut wedge. Split it down. And there is a walnut wedge size for the eye. You could cut it off right now or not before you put that in there, but I prefer just let it go. Boy, that's in there tight. Boy, that's tight. Crack on that hammer handle. Yes, all the way together. Grease it up. Get down here on my anvil block. I'm sorry. I should have been showing you more of it. Anyway, I'll get right there. You can see how it's together. I mean, it's completely together. So. I usually, not always, but usually put a little bit of, man, I cut them things down a little bit. I think I will. Right now, take that out and redo that. And it works as lubricant too, so the glue does. Now do it again with glue. Now I have a definite spot to put the wedge. Right there. I'm getting in a hurry sometimes and forget things. You gotta slow down sometimes to speed up. You don't have to redo them so many times. Okay. Okay. Sit right here on the handle. Put that right there. Yep. Now, that ought to do it right there. Just take your glue, and squeeze, this goes out, and just fill her full. Now, tomorrow, after it sets up and dries real good, you can cut that off, and if it don't look like it's done anything to your liking, you can always put a metal wedge in it. But that's spread that out in the inside of the hole. And for any of those that are new to hammers or anything, then let me show you what we was talking about. What I was talking about, the drift. You drive it in from both sides, and it's bigger, it's tapered, so it makes an hourglass shine inside of it. So the hole will look like this on the inside. This is kind of exaggerated, but that's what it looks like when you drive in to drift this in, right here and down and through. It makes this one bigger. Well, it's small here and it's getting bigger here, so that's what that's doing. And when you drive it in from this way, it does the same thing. Like that. And where this is narrow at, will be where it's narrow at on the other side. So gives you an hourglass shape. And gives you a tight little waist in there. And when you put the hammer in, you're not really super sizing it for these holes so much as you are for this middle right here. When you drive that in there, it compresses down. That's the reason it's got a slot in it. And putting that hole in there, when it opens up, it won't let the fiber of that wood split on. Usually, I've had it to not work, but more over than not, it has worked for me. And that was just gets you a smaller spot right there. And when you drive a wedge in, this it goes in and it will spread this out right here, the top. And if it wedges long enough, it will start swelling this down here because the wedge will go through. And it will compress here and expand here with the glue. The hydraulic action of the glue inside that crack when you put it down in there. When you drive that in, the hydraulic, because you cannot compress the liquid. That's how hydraulics work. Oil, water, whatever. You can compress air and fibers, but you can't compress a liquid. And you put the glue in there, and as it goes down, it expands this. Fills that up. Depending on how much glue you put in there, but you know, you get a hydraulic and a capillary action in here. Pull everything down in here. In here, the same way with glue, it pulls it everywhere. And and if you put it on the outside, it acts like a lubricant to help get it in there. And then once it dries, if there's enough in there, then it gets the microscopic pores that's in this eyelet right here. And that helps fill that up and hold it. Now, is it a death grip hole? No. But, I mean, I broke hammer handles that had to take drill bits and everything else and drill them out a lot because they was put in there like this or put in there with extra glue. Not so much the hole being drilled in them, but put extra glue in that wedge. And that's what happens. As you drive it down, like I said, it expands this. The hydraulic actions will expand this. That's the reason when I come around the bottom, or I wiped it off. I wiped it off right down here and put it in right there. Then drove the wedge in and then re-glued all of the wedge right there. So, when you get that going like that, makes them set pretty darn tough. And I've been beating on steel with mine, and all these hammers here, except for Mr. Hanneman and the two cards that I got, I installed. I've never had one come off. Same way with the my other tools that I've got over here, my dog's head, my straight peen, and another hammer eye punch over there. It's not much punking, but I converted a block hammer to it, and it's too soft on the pointed end. So, but anyway, now let's see what this thing weighs with the handle on it. That's on. Okay, and weighs 2 pounds and 5 ounces. So anyway, I hope that that helps somebody out there. I mean, I enjoy spreading the knowledge around a little bit. Do I know everything? No. I know a lot about a little. I know a little bit about a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that I know quite a bit about. And then there's other things that I know a lot about. So, yeah. So, anyway, if you got any questions, whatever else, that's the reason I put the chalkboard up here. I was asked a question about a comment I made on another channel, and I didn't have nothing except for a piece of paper and some magnets to stick it on the freezer. So I fixed a chalkboard right there. So if you know, hey, if you got something out of this, be sure to like, share, subscribe. It don't cost you nothing, anything. Sit back, watch. You can throw rocks at me or whatever else on there, and just laugh at me and tell me what a dummy I am and all this other stuff. I don't care. But till the next time, it's Bobby Shields saying, God bless.